right, so first we need to look at the minutes to confirm that they're correct. So if you can take the minutes are on the hard drive, the G drive rather. um, take a quick look and see if you want any changes.
The minutes indicate that I was at the meeting, but I was not.
Yes, I noticed that. Yes. Right.
This is for the 20th, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Oh, I was at the 20th. I
No,
was not.
last week. Oh,
I,
oh, okay, November 20th. Oh,
yeah. The
the
minutes for
4th.
the
We weren't there
4th
for the
say that I
4th.
was there and I
Right.
was not there.
Right. Okay, great. Okay. Yes, we need to look at the minutes for the 20th as well. So let's do that. If you're already on the 4th, go ahead and look at the 4th. But if you haven't seen the ones for the and then look at the ones for the 20th. And we will start with the ones for the 20th. um,
Shouldn't the minutes indicate the location of the meeting?
excellent point. Excellent point. Okay, excellent point. Thank you. All right, so you're absolutely right, Victor.
That's all I have, though.
Okay, well, that's very helpful. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so um, does anyone have any changes to the minutes for the 20th? Okay, I actually had a change. So on the 20th, Elizabeth had volunteered to reach out to the senior center um, and um, and the landmark and Wachusett Free Press. We confirmed that Will was going to um, meet with me with Dawson, and James, you said you would meet with Mayo, and let's see, Victor, I don't know if you had volunteered to meet with any particular group. I can't remember at the moment. I apologize. Okay. Um, so, all right, very good. So I remember that. Was there anything else? Let's see. Let's see. I didn't notice. Was there a Zoom link on the minutes from the 20th, or did she say Zoom? Did she add that there was
I don't believe so.
okay, so Zoom needs to go on both of them. Okay, great. All right. So, okay. All right. So, um, can I hear a motion to approve the minutes of November 20th with those corrections?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Okay, thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Okay, all opposed. So, um, all right. So now moving on to the minutes of December 4th. Has anybody, Victor, you mentioned that your name was mistakenly there, and you mentioned that there was no Zoom indication on the agenda. Thank you. Does anybody have any other corrections to the minutes of the 4th, December 4th? All right then. Do I hear any, um, let's see, let me just double check. Make sure I didn't. I wrote something down. I thought, okay. I think it was just the Zoom thing. All right. So do I hear, oh, yes, I had one. Mary, she quoted Mary Jude as saying that we should reach out to the affordable housing folks to let them know that their maps might not be quite right, the affordable housing folks at the state. I think she actually said the state. I don't think she said the affordable housing people. I think she said the state because actually the affordable housing people wouldn't be the right people. So can I hear a motion to make that change and to add uh, the fact that the meeting was on Zoom to those minutes?
So moved.
Okay, so I think Will moved and who seconded?
Seconded.
Thank you, James. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, all opposed? All right, it's unanimous. I'm hoping that we're recording here. Um,
It,
it is recording. I see.
It is.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, great. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. Um, let me just look at my list here. Hang on. All right, so updates. So we talked last week, just to catch everybody up, we talked last week about how the Board of Selectmen had approved our 2-parcel plan, 39 acres on Trap Rock and 11 acres on the Newbury Drive Halsted Apartments site. Hello, Ron, welcome. um, and so, um, so I just wanted to mention that. And I wanted to remind people again, I know I emailed everyone, but I want to remind people again that we cannot reply all on our emails. That we are required by law um, to deliberate only in meetings. You can reply all about about whether to put about timing of a meeting, whether you're able to attend a meeting, um, that sort of thing. And you can request items to be on the agenda, but you can't do anything that looks like expressing an opinion. Okay. And if we ever, I don't know if we'll ever end up with text strings, but or whatever the right term is. If we ended up with a group text to the entire group or to more than 4 members of the group, we can't even like something that somebody says, okay? Just to make that clear to everybody. So I'm just trying to protect us all. um, so it is rigid and it is sometimes very counterproductive. I'll be straightforward with you about my opinion about that, but it is a law, so we have to follow it. So, all right. Also, I corresponded with Riley Frankian. Riley Frankian, who you may have seen, the young person who's been on the last couple of meetings. That person is a reporter from the Wachusett Free Press. And apparently that person is, is a new reporter and is being mentored by a more experienced reporter. But just keep in mind that we have a reporter who's interested. And I spoke with the reporter tonight, and then I emailed the reporter. And we had a good conversation. I was a little concerned that not everything that I said was totally clear, and so I emailed the reporter and the reporter's mentor, and just suggested that maybe I could take a look at I'd like to, if possible, take a look at the article just for the sake of being factual, making sure the facts are right. I used to work for the state legislature long ago, and I found that no matter how carefully I tried to explain things to a reporter, it was not unusual for there to be some fact that was wrong. So we'll see. We'll see if they say that they can do that. Reporters don't always say that, but hopefully they will. We'll see. So, that's all the updates from me. Now, and Elizabeth, I know that you've been, well, we'll get to the community outreach part of the agenda. But first, I want to go over the survey document. And Ron, thank you for your help on the survey. James, I know you also had some comments on the survey, and I'm sure others did as well. So I'm gonna share my screen now. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see if I can get it to work. Hang on a sec. I have to make sure the right document is up. I had the minutes up. That's the problem. Okay. All right. So. Okay, so I'm going to pull up this version of it. Let's see. All righty, here we are. All right. Let's see. I'm going to make you all small so that I can actually see the document. So if you can possibly use a little hand raising function at the bottom of your Zoom interface, it says reactions. You can raise your hand. There's a little hand that you can raise if you're not familiar with Zoom. And that will let me know that you are you want to speak, because I'm okay. I'm having a little trouble seeing everybody. So if I overlook you, let me know. It's not on purpose. So all right. So Ron had put some comments in the sidebar. Now, James, I know you had some comments, but please feel free to interject with those as we go along. Okay, is that all right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let me know if this is not proceeding smoothly for everybody. Alrighty, so additional opportunities to provide input. That's where we put our dates and locations, etc. This is general participant information. I'm gonna get rid of that little sidebar there. Age range, which of the following best describes your current housing situation? How much are you spending on housing costs? What factors would drive your decision to move? If you don't currently live in Holden, and we might end up with some people. Oh, Victor, go ahead, please.
We are providing comments as we go along, right? That's the
Absolutely, yes. Oh, good.
okay.
Both Victor and James have comments. Great, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of agree with some of the comments James made. Definitely, I think question 2 we can scrap it, but I would probably scrap questions 3 and 4 as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much we're gonna do with that information. And I think keeping the survey really short and easy for people to fill out on the go is maybe a higher priority.
Okay, James, that was your comment as well?
Yeah, I would say with the comment that question 3, I don't think I had too many issues with asking that question. But the age question, yeah, I just questioned what benefit that information would bring to us. It feels potentially a little bit potential for people to consider it's discriminatory. That's why I just think it would be good to scrap it. And the percentage of income, again, I think as Victor stated, I don't know what we would be doing with this information. I think what people are paying is their own business. And
Okay.
I don't know what we are going to be doing to either
Mhm.
fix it or do anything with that. So that's
So-
my first initial comments on the first
Okay.
5 questions.
Does anybody have any other thoughts about those questions?
If I may, Linda.
Please, yes.
So I'll just preface anything I say with I am fine with eliminating any series of questions, but I would just say on 2 and 4, for number 2, the only value in a statement in a question like that is for us to understand when we're looking at the data who it was who responded. So if we see that the data is showing a highly negative response, but it's overwhelmingly one age group, then that at least could tell us that, maybe we don't have a full picture of what we're looking at. So that's the value of that data. It's not necessarily anything else. We're not going to be using it for any other purpose. And the only other thing I was going to add is that for number 4, there is a potential value for depending on how people respond to it, and if they respond to it, there may be potential value for us being able to see if there's some data that could back up the argument for why this is needed. If you have a lot of people that are saying that they're paying more than 30% of their income on housing, then that is something that we can say, well, our survey says that's this number of people, so it's clearly more. There's a need here for more affordable housing than we may think. Again, I'm fine with eliminating those, but those were just sort of the thinking behind including them in the first place. So just wanted to put that context in there.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any comments? Elizabeth, go ahead.
It kind of struck me in looking at these questions that I wished we had more time to explore some of this data, to collect it and then explore it, because it almost sounds like these are really important questions for what I understand now Holden does not have, which is a housing production plan, so that you really could address what is relating to people who make them stay, make them leave, including renters. Are they unable to afford to buy in Holden? Do they wish they could buy in Holden, or they just not aspire to that anymore? Which age groups are more uncomfortable being here? So I think there's a lot of value to the questions. I also question whether or not we have the time to analyze it. Now, if CMRPC can use it in another means for another project, then we debate whether or not it's worth getting it while we can. But if our primary goal is to try to make sure people have the information they need to support our warrant article, then yes, trying to eliminate questions would make it more feasible to think we're going to get a lot of responses. So that's just throwing that out there.
Thank you. One thought I had, I mean, I do think this could be helpful for long-term planning. I totally agree with you. I also thought the question number 2 might help us identify particular groups that we want to focus on for outreach. We might need to do more outreach with, one group or another. And it would be really helpful to know. So for example, if 60 to 69-year-olds and 70 to 79-year-olds are more likely to say that they're struggling with these things, then, we might want to do, and, we can't have age-restricted housing under this particular law, unfortunately. But it might help us to understand, uh, if we need to talk to them more about this law, or if the 20 to 29-year-olds respond that they can't afford things, that can also just inform sort of how we want to approach, for lack of a better term, pitch this to people. So that was a thought I had about all those all 3, 2, 3, and 4. So let's put a pin in those. Well, actually, let me back up. What do you, Victor, and James think about that input?
I think, given the timeline we are on, and I guess, how do I put this? My priority was getting this down from 10 pages. Granted, 6 pages was a
Right.
survey, 4 pages was, I think, like the pictures of the plots, which those are what they are. We want people to be able to see them.
Right.
My priority was getting that down from 6 pages to 3 pages. And I think that was my initial my edits did accomplish that for a total of a 5-page survey.
Right.
I just think the data we'd be obtaining from those questions
Yeah.
is not something we would be able to explore and go after in the short time frame we have. With the added comment that I guess what would what would we do? And you mentioned we would go after the certain age groups. I just don't feel as though that's possible at this time frame, especially because I mean, how do you go after the 20 to 29-year-old age group? That's like you said, as an example.
Okay. Ron, I see your hand up. Thank you. Go ahead. Can't hear you, Ron. You're on mute.
Sorry, I lowered my hand, but I didn't unmute. I apologize. Yeah, I was going to say that I totally understand where you're coming from on that, and I agree with you. And I think as we're going through this, the thing we have to understand is that with, 6 weeks between now, maybe 8, maybe, 7 weeks, 8 weeks between now and when town meeting is going to be, the real value of this is going to be to try to understand who has issues with this, what those issues are, and hopefully be able to come up with some responses for it, either just before or at town meeting. That's sort of my thought anyways, as far
Right.
as what this would be useful for.
Right.
And so I agree. I don't see there's any other than for you to understand who it is that's coming up with the responses, who's raising the issues that they're raising. Just broadly speaking, that there's no additional value to any of that. We wouldn't be collecting this data for use in a future planning effort, because if we were going to do a housing production plan, we would need a whole lot more data than just this. This is a very truncated version.
Okay.
So
All right.
just wanted to add that in there for context, how, at least how I'm assuming it would be useful to do this outreach effort.
Okay. All right. So moving on then, question number 5. Does that have any value to folks?
I
Yes,
took it as people thinking, what are the negatives of Holden currently? And I do think there's use in the question. I think we need to limit the amount of answers. I believe there's 13 on there right now.
Yeah.
I think some of those could be consolidated, and some can be potentially omitted. But I do think there is value in the question.
Okay, great. Great. Okay. All righty, moving on. If you do not currently live in Holden, because as we said, there could be out-of-towners who answer this whether we like it or not. um, so I remember a few years ago, there was a survey about the school mascot. The school mascot's been kind of controversial in town over the years. And the high school mascot is what I'm talking about. And we ended up with a lot of people from out of town answering the survey, which was not helpful. But anyway, so is this the same? It's not quite the same. Yeah, what do people feel this is useful or no? You do, Victor? Are you nodding? Okay, all right, thank you. All right. Okay. In your opinion, what are Holden's most urgent needs related to housing?
I'm sorry,
Is this
Linda,
useful?
were we suggesting leaving question 6 in?
do people want to leave question 6 in, or do you want to take it out? Victor's nodding, I think, to say he wants to keep it in.
I think we should
My-
keep it in.
Okay, great. All right, good.
I didn't know if we'd be focusing on respondents that are not Holden residents.
We're not focusing on them, but if they don't live here, it gives, it gives them something to say. It is useful to know if they might actually want to move into our housing or not. Especially with any new housing that's built. So anyway, I suppose there could be some people who, I'm just thinking out loud, about something that had not occurred to me previously. Thinking out loud, I'm wondering if there are people who would say, in town, not outside of town, but people in town who would find this question troubling because they don't necessarily want a lot of people to move into Holden. That's one of the fears that we're hearing, right? All these people from outside of town are going to move into Holden, etc.
Yeah, I'm changing my mind. I kind of feel like we should scrap this question.
Okay, all right, okay. So,
I mean, if we're trying to gather data to inform how we present to, say, town meeting,
yeah,
well, no one who doesn't live in Holden is going to be at town meeting. So
excellent point.
The
Excellent point.
goal is
Thank
to
you.
pass this
yeah,
measure.
You'd like to take a pass on this one. Okay, great. All right.
But
Okay, how about this one? In your opinion, what are Holden's most urgent needs related to housing? I think this, what do people, Victor, you're nodding again, so I assume that means you think it's useful? Okay, good, good.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
Do we have to say something like check all that apply or rank
Oh,
them?
what
Or,
a good point.
because there are a lot of options
Yes.
and we don't, for people to pick the one that they think is the most important. I'm just wondering if it needs, how would you do that, Ron, if you want to make sure people?
could we limit it to 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe pick your top 3. What would
Yeah,
you
we
think,
can do
Ron?
pick your top 3. We can do as many you want. I had I had the thought that if we were really looking to shorten this, that it may be valuable to eliminate most of the questions in what's now part 2, and consolidate the one that's currently question 9 as either as the lead-in question for the next section. But if you think that it would be valuable to have this information, because a lot of these questions are more of a housing needs assessment type of question.
Uh-huh.
And the other people had said at other points that maybe it's not necessarily appropriate at this juncture, but I'm happy to leave it in. We can limit it however you'd like, but I just wanted to throw that out there that was my initial thought when I got the first couple of rounds of edits.
So, let me just ask something for the sake of considering all possibilities. What if a majority of people who take this survey are opposed to the MBTA communities law and they say no changes are needed? What do people think about that?
I would also add that another risk that may come up with this, as I was thinking it through earlier, is that if people look at housing for local workforce, housing for seniors, condominiums, they may be given the impression that there is more deliberation to be done on this
Uh-huh.
than there is.
Oh, good point. Yeah,
Because
good point.
there aren't any changes that are being proposed at this point to the bylaw that was proposed last round. It's just the
Right.
locations that are changing. So there's that trickiness involved too.
That's a good point.
I guess to answer your question, Linda, is
Uh-huh.
there any reason we couldn't just put on the survey? as it currently stands with your current knowledge, would you vote yes to approve the
Ooh,
plan?
I think that's dangerous because they haven't heard our
Okay.
pitch yet. I think they
Okay.
haven't heard our pitch, for the most part. I mean, we're gonna do a lot of outreach, but they won't have heard our pitch and they may just be relying on rumor, right? Rumor and innuendo. So I'd be
I
careful
think,
about
James,
that.
you have an interesting point there, because if the reason we're doing a survey is to try to gauge current opinion and then be prepared to present information or with questions or whatever at the time of a town meeting or before,
Yeah.
maybe we do want to know that. Because that's what that's what our goal is with this survey, and that's what our goal is with our working group, is to get the thing passed. So if we get a lot of responses that say, no, not right now, based on what I know, then that's
Uh-huh.
going to perhaps provide us with information that we don't already have. Maybe the most vocal people are the ones who are opposing it, but maybe there are also quite a number of people who are okay with it. But
There-
I think it might be important to know.
I think that would be useful data. And if you just get people who, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being I hate it, and that will help you filter out those concerns with these answers like the people who are just going to vote against it no matter what, whereas maybe your 2s and 3s, those are the people you're going to sway. And then those are the people whose needs you, well, sounds bad, but you do listen to because you could gain their votes.
Well, the fact of the matter is it's state law that we have to do something, right?
Yes.
So, go ahead, Ron.
I was just going to say, I don't think that that's a terrible idea. The one thing I would suggest, however, is that if you were going to have a question about whether or not you will support based on what you know, the bylaw at town meeting, it should come at the end. It should be the very last thing anybody sees. Because if you put it too early in the survey and you ask them, do they support it? They're going to read every other question with, I already said no
Right.
in the moment.
I did have the same thought, and I was gonna say shove it all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, and I think that would be fine. Like if you go through all this and you have a question that says on a scale of 1 to 5 or 0 to 5 or whatever, like whatever the scale could
You
be,
did
how
strongly
much do you still
disagree,
support
disagree.
this?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go to the end and write this down in here. Okay, let me just, where's the very end? All right, I'm just gonna write that down. On a scale 1 to 5, what are we making the most interesting? Let's see.
I was just gonna say strongly disagree, disagree,
Okay,
neutral,
yeah.
agree, strongly
yeah.
agree, and make it so they can miss the question. Because if you have people who rush through it and don't answer it.
Okay, neutral, either agree or disagree.
You could also say
Neutral, yeah.
support, strongly don't support. You could do it that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll let the pros settle on the language.
Okay, strongly support. Okay, neither support nor no boy. Neither support or do not support. No.
Maybe
I was just gonna
oppose.
say neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah, or
Okay, neutral. Let me
undecided.
just say neutral. That's better. You're right. Okay. Neutral. Okay. Oppose. Strongly. Oppose. Okay. Does that work? Does that work?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just be prepared that we're probably going to get mostly opposes. We may get a lot of opposes, etc. So, okay. Anyway. All right. Okay. So, let's see. Where did we leave off?
think we're on 7 or 8.
Thank you. Okay. That was 6. Did we make a decision about this question? If you do not currently live in Holden, which factors most influence your decision? Did we
It
make a deci-
sounded split. Does this need to go to a vote?
Well, let's see. Can I make a suggestion as to, okay, let's see. Oh, no, yeah, no, you're right. We decided to get rid of this one, I believe. Is that right, everybody? I think is what, I'm sorry. What I meant was to go to this one. I apologize. What are Holden's most urgent needs to related to housing? I'd like it to make a suggestion sort of in the same vein as James' suggestion, which was, why don't we put the no changes are needed at the bottom? So that the people who don't want anything to change don't see that first and just, you know, people, just to make people think about the other options before they decide there's nothing that needs to change.
We could
Does
just
that make-
delete it as an option.
We could, yes, we could. That's true.
You-
Okay.
I would say, yeah, select up to 3 would be a way to do that, because if they don't select anything, then that's an answer too.
Yes, yes. Well, what do you think about moving this or deleting this one or just moving it to the end?
If we can make it so no selections are possible, then I would say you can delete it.
Wait, I didn't quite follow. What, no selections are possible?
If you say pick up to your top 3, so pick up to 3, you can pick 0 if you want to,
Uh-huh.
and then that would stand as no changes are needed, and then you can delete the option. But just my 2 cents.
Okay. Any thoughts about that from anyone else?
I'm okay with that, just to take out the no changes are needed option and use the language of up to 3. It definitely answers, you could ascertain that that's their feeling, that there is no changes needed if they don't check any boxes.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. And we do ask at the end if they support or strongly support or oppose, etc. Right? So that kind of gets at that to some extent. So, all right. All right. Which of the following location-based factors do you believe are most important for new family, multifamily? I'm going to say
I'm sorry,
housing.
Linda, what was the final
We're
on
taking out,
number
we're
6?
taking out no changes are needed.
But leaving the rest.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. Well, does anyone have any issues with condominiums? Or do you think that would raise any questions? I mean, I think that it would still be allowable under the current zoning that you're proposing, but we would also have to remove housing for seniors because that's not going to be allowable.
Oh, that's true.
Is
Although,
the
you know-
addendum at the bottom not? Oh, it doesn't say. Could we put an addendum at the bottom that says
Oh,
the committee is not permitted to say state zone housing only for seniors or something like that,
right.
so
Yeah.
people can still select it, but we don't have a say at this stage,
I like that idea
if
personally.
that's permissible.
Yeah. I can write
Sure.
up something like that. That sounds good. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Age restricted housing. Let's see. Let's say senior. Let's say I'll just put in senior housing. Is not permitted under the MBTA CA. Okay.
Because
And
you can
I'll
allow,
tell you-
obviously, you can't tell seniors they can't live there, but it's not going to be, you just
Right,
can't
right.
require it to be
Right.
senior housing.
Right. Maybe I'll say senior only housing. Okay, not permitted. Okay, so that's a great idea, James. Thank you.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yes. But you know, I keep hearing, like when Ginny Henderson from the Housing Authority came, she said, "All right, James, I see you. Hang on a sec. when Ginny Henderson came from the Housing Authority, she said that, you know, that was the main thing she mentioned, was that we need more age-restricted housing, more senior housing. And I hear that from other people too. James, go ahead.
I raised my hand with regards to the next question
Oh, okay.
before we jump back. So
Okay.
if we're ready to move on, I can
Okay.
just.
Okay. Which of the following location-based factors do you believe are most important for new multifamily housing in Holden? I thought I had your, let me just show, so, okay, so, let's see, proximity to businesses and services, proximity to major routes of travel, proximity to sidewalks. Okay, this says Route 146. That's not very close to us, actually, so that doesn't quite work there. I just noticed that. Proximity to sidewalks and bike lanes, availability of sewer and water infrastructure, proximity to other residences. Is this really going to help us with our, you know, addressing people's needs? I see, Ron, you said consider removing.
Yeah, I didn't think it was particularly useful considering what we're working with. This is more useful for sort of at the beginning of this phase rather than the end of it.
Right,
But I left it, I didn't want to delete it without giving the committee the opportunity to consider
right.
whether they saw value.
I'm in favor of removing it.
Okay, great. All right. I'll go back and remove other ones too that we seem to have agreed to. But I'll just do this for now. Oops, darn it. Okay. I'll go back and remove the other ones. Regarding future development of new multifamily housing in Holden, please rank your level of concern. Not concerned, moderately concerned, very concerned, unsure. Appearance, effect on local traffic, effect on local taxes, public services and schools, effect on the environment, affordability. What do people think about this question?
I like it. Just reformat it to make it look a little bit cleaner.
Okay, okay.
Just like shrink it vertically to make it fit on the page a little bit nicer.
Oh, okay. Maybe we make the font. I don't want to make the font too small. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
We can work on that. Maybe we can make these boxes,
Mm.
the cells with these boxes a little smaller.
Yeah, this is going to be reformatted anyways. So this is only the outline version for playing with the text.
Yeah, my minor comment.
Oh, well, those kinds of things do matter. I mean, they really do. Okay.
I have to step away for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll just put a note in here. Oh, you know what? I'll put a comment. That'll work. Okay, so okay. Okay, I can't move you guys for some reason. All right, well, I'm going to put reformat here, then I can find it. Okay, reformat. Okay. Okay.
So
to what extent
for, if I could, Linda, for 9 and excuse me, for 10 and what is it?
9 and 10.
9 and 10. Sorry, I've been editing, so it's been renumbering it on me.
Okay.
On my version. My comment was that I don't think that these are these are still more geared towards beginning phases of this process when we're trying to
Yeah.
figure out how the bylaw should look.
Yeah.
I was of the opinion that they could be omitted easily and it wouldn't hurt anything. But I'm open to what the committee has to say on it.
But should we keep these questions?
I was going to suggest we cut out, well, what were formerly questions 10 and 11, but I guess now they're 9 and 10.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
James or anyone else?
I would support that, removing them.
Okay, me too.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't think they're relevant anymore. Since we're not doing any of that. So, all right. Okay. How wary of the requirements of law and the potential penalties for non-compliance? What do people think of this one?
I think the rest of the survey is great.
Okay, good.
I-
Yes, go ahead.
I
Jim.
think 9, just because we have 2 follow-up questions on the consequences, I think we could remove 9 as 10 and 11 both kind of answer, give it or give insight as to people's answers in more detail.
I think, okay, anyone else have an opinion? I think it's important to know how aware people feel, how much they really feel like they know. Um, I think that personally, I think that's important, and we are cutting out a lot of other questions. So, um, I personally would really like to keep this one. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Anybody, James, do you still disagree?
I still disagree, but I'm just one person. That's
Okay.
it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Thank
was
you.
just going to say that I think it would be useful because it would help. You're starting off by saying before you get people to think about the nuances, they're already saying like, how aware are you? And then
Uh-huh.
when you look at it and if you see people saying, we're very concerned about all these other things, but they're only somewhat aware of the
Uh-huh.
law to begin with, it could be useful context for you as you're
Right.
looking through this. That was the thinking behind putting it there at the lead for the rest of the questions.
Right. I think I think it's pretty useful. So the state has determined that failure to create a zone meeting the minimum requirements would make Holden ineligible for certain state grant programs. And then the four that are actually in the statute are listed, but the attorney general, I believe it is, or EOHLC, the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, has excluded a number of other grants. I want to say it's about 20 grants altogether, that they're excluding. Um, so, um, so this has a catch-all here. It says along with at least a dozen other state grant programs.
So I
And
did make a small edit to that where I was saying certain grant programs, including but not limited to housing choice,
Yeah.
along with at least a dozen other state grant programs.
Yeah,
Rate your level of concern. Was that, do you think that would suffice?
yeah, I think that looks good myself, but what do other people think?
I think that's enough level of detail for people to be aware that there's certain ones, but then it's also could be even worse. So without
Yes.
bogging them down.
Right. You know, I also, let's see, the Office Attorney General has stated any community that has not complied may be subject to legal action that could include penalties, appointing a state agency to enforce the requirements. I think I put this in here. Um, um, I think I'd like to simplify this language just because I think appointing a state agent to enforce the requirements to me is going to be hard for some people to interpret. Um, so so I would say personally that penalties having I would say having a court appoint someone an outside entity.
Is this stated in the actual act?
No, but here's how it would work. So the Attorney General can sue us,
Right.
and a court could, and it wouldn't be surprising at all if they did, appoint what's called a special master, which is a person who's perceived to be a neutral party, to come in and do the zoning for us. We could challenge that in court, but the courts have been pretty strongly in favor of the act so far, and we are out of compliance. So,
I'm fully in favor of this question as long as it's clear. I just
Uh-huh.
want to make sure that I guess both sides, both the pros and the people who are for it and against it who are answering the survey, there's no threat of us misrepresenting what's already stated in the law.
right, right, right. Okay, right. So, okay, so,
So
um,
I would just say that there's gonna be a little bit of ambiguity in this if we include this question, because no action has been taken yet, so nobody knows what the courts would impose on a town that they found not in compliance, because
Right.
they haven't done it yet.
Right.
This language came from a legal guidance document we had gotten from CHAPA that had gotten it from the Attorney General's office.
Uh-huh.
So that was where the legal penalties that we were considering. But again, it has to necessarily be broad, because we don't actually know what they're going to do. We can only say what they could do
Right.
if
Right.
and when they decide to take action against the non-compliant community.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, this is a possibility, for sure. You know, we can't say it's not a definite outcome, but it's definitely a possibility. Courts have a lot of leeway, to try to address the situation. Elizabeth, go ahead.
This is a really small thing, but do we need to leave other in as an option to those two sets of responses? Because what are they gonna, if we don't offer an opportunity to explain what their other is?
Oh, good point.
And I don't know that we want them to. I don't know, I
Yeah.
think that the ranking system is pretty detailed. It should allow people to pick
Uh-huh.
one. That's
Yeah,
just my
that's fine.
thought.
I was just going to add that the other is meant to have a text box with it. It just doesn't in the draft version, but it would ultimately have the option for somebody to put in their own response, which you may or may not want
Right.
to have.
Right.
Because it probably would, well, I won't speculate as to what people would put into it.
Right. Right. So, what does everyone else think? What do other people think about removing other?
I'm in favor of removing other.
Okay. Anybody not in favor of it? Okay. All right. So I think that's a good idea, Elizabeth. And have we agreed that we should at least mention the possibility of having a court appoint an outside entity to decide the zoning for us? I'll say the MBTA, MBTA, because they're not going to do all communities. Act. Zoning for the town. Can we put that language in there? Anybody feel strongly about taking it out? Okay, I'm gonna just change this. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Great. All right. So images below. Questions or comments about each one. And we'll have the updated one in here, right? Right, Ron? Yeah. Okay. With the 39 acres instead of the 29 acres. So, all right. Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay. Oh, this is the old one. This is, let's wait. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, this is the one with Bailey Road, which we're taking out. So, all right. All right. Great. Okay. Okay. So we're putting this on a scale from strongly support to support, neutral, etc. at the end. Can I make, going back to the beginning, can I make one more pitch for the age? For the age variable, can I suggest moving it to the end? Typically in surveys that I've done, we've had any personal questions about a person moved at the end, and I still think it might help us target our outreach a little bit. If we know it's young people, we can, get on Instagram or TikTok or whatever young people look at.
I was gonna say, who's we?
Well, those of us doing outreach.
I,
So,
I will say I have no online experience whatsoever in doing this.
okay, yeah. Oh, I
I'm gonna
have
be no
limited
help.
online. I'm learning Instagram, etc. Victor, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask for the snapshots of the sites at the end of the survey.
Yes.
I was wondering if we could use aerial imagery as the background instead of whatever the yellow is, so that people can see, what's on the site just by kind of looking at the picture.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
It might cost more in terms of ink with the printer, but
Right, right. Ron?
Yes is the short answer. The long answer is I would have to see when we would be able to do that, given that I'm not sure when my RGIS team is going to be in the office. If I can't get them to do it tomorrow, it may be unavailable until after Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I have to check and see his vacation schedule because I know he's going to be going away for a bit.
Okay. all
okay.
right.
And
Okay.
if aerial imagery for some reason is not workable, could we add building footprints at least so that we could see how dense the buildings in the area are already?
Yeah, I think the only challenge with the only challenge with doing any of it is whether or not we have the staff to do it between now and the holiday. I would. It may be that the putting the building footprints would be the better option. I don't know how hard it is to for the I don't know how much it'll affect the visibility if we do it as a photograph. But I can check with Matt tomorrow and see if he is able to do it before he goes away on vacation.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, so if he can't do it before he goes on vacation, can we live with these kind of very technical maps? Yes, no,
See,
maybe?
the different shades of yellow are representing current. Oh, they're current zoning. Okay, I see them at the
Yeah.
bottom now.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
current zoning. Yeah. Which some people might find, interesting.
Mm.
Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
um, all right, well, we'll let Ron check with his colleague and then we'll see. Um, okay, so, all right, so we're gonna take out one of the maps. This is, let me just show you what moving the age thing to the end looks like. And just keep in mind that this is all anonymous, right? This
Can
is
we
all,
put the acreage on the lots clearly
oh
if
yeah,
they're not already?
that's a good idea. We could probably do a heading or something for that. Would that work, Ron?
Yeah, I can look into that.
Okay. List acreage. Okay. All right. Okay, so. All right, and I'll put that up here. Okay. Just. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, so what I would do is, okay, we'd have to renumber these questions, but anyway. I would do this. Please indicate the age range you belong to. And then you'd have on a scale from strongly supports, we'd have our scale. From a scale from, wait, okay. Please indicate the, okay, the strength of your opinion on complying, on the town's plan. That would be better, the town's, on the town's proposed plan for the MBTA communities.
So, Linda, what I had written for that was after answering the questions above, how likely are you to support the proposed the zoning change being proposed?
Okay, all right.
Does
okay.
that work?
that works for me. How do other people feel?
I like the way that's phrased.
Okay, after answering the questions above, can you tell me the rest of it again?
How likely are you to support the zoning change being proposed?
I think we should point to a place where they can get more information.
Oh, yes.
I mean, obviously, there's information provided within the survey itself, but some people might want to find out more before they answer the question.
We're trying to get a website up, right? Trying to get a website up.
Yes, we are. We have, I'm putting together a, what they're called a storyboard, which is a fancy PowerPoint presentation essentially that lives online.
Okay.
That will have links to the state guidance that we've used for a lot of our answers, as well as the sites, and ultimately we'll have a link. I'm looking into seeing whether or not I can actually embed the survey directly into that site.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, it'll have a link that'll take people to it.
Right, well, we can also, we'll put it on the town website too. So, anyway. Okay, so, all right, all right, so, let's see. Okay, there was something else I was gonna say. Are you looking at all at the Paxton? I know you guys didn't do the Paxton website, but have you looked at the Paxton website at all?
I have, yeah. It looks like they put a package together on their town website with
Yes.
information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elizabeth had found a myth busting the MBTA, or myths about the MBTA, and I had started trying to do sort of a Holden focused one that was similar. And that, I just haven't had a chance to finish the draft. Maybe since we're taking care of this draft tonight, I could I could have Wendy send out the draft to everybody, and get input about that for next week. Would that work for people?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Great. So, all right. All right. Let's see. Okay, so if you are, let's see, interested in more information about the MBTA Communities Act plan for Holden, please visit, and then website address here. Does that work? Anybody think it doesn't work? Okay. All right. Back to the beginning. I just want to make sure we got these straight. Okay. All right. Okay.
So quickly, question 2, you did decide to put that toward the end, right before the question about whether or not you would support the proposal.
That would certainly be my strong preference. Does anyone else have a strong preference otherwise still? Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate the flexibility. Okay. So we're keeping number 1, right? I think we're keeping number 2 by getting rid of are we getting rid of number 3 and number 4? Is that what we're doing?
I was in favor of getting rid of 3 and
Uh-huh.
consolidating the answer for number 4, I believe. The
Okay.
numbers changed around, and that's
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes.
yeah, because you currently live in Holden. That's for current residents. Yes, that I'm good with that question.
Okay. You're
Just
good with that?
consolidating the answers.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about a little bit how you'd consolidate them. Different size home, Maintaining your current home is too expensive, too physically challenging. Looking to move to an independent living center facility. Oh boy. Well,
So I can just read off what I wrote. I have option 1, looking for a different home size that meets your needs. Number 2, maintaining current home is too expensive. 3, maintaining current home is too physically challenging. So those 3 stay. 4 is looking to move to an independent living facility for older adults or other senior living community, or needing a more accessible home. So consolidating
oh, I
answers
see.
4 and 5. Closer to family, public transportation, lower cost of living, closer to place of employment. So I think out of these, I'm just cycling back and forth. I deleted the climate
Okay, yeah, I
and the
think we can,
NA.
okay, we can, I think we can delete climate. I just don't, if someone wants to move to Florida, they're gonna move to Florida, whether we
I don't
did
think
that.
any amount of housing that does or does not get built is going to alter
Yes.
that.
Yes. So I want to just make a point about, consolidating, needing a more accessible home, and adding that to need to move to like a retirement home, or I feel like we should say nursing facility. Um, um, Independent living facility, nursing facility, because nursing facility is different from a retirement home, actually.
I,
Yes, go ahead.
yeah,
Yes.
I think options on this question 3, 4, and 5, as they're currently ordered,
Uh-huh.
kind of all mean similar things. It's just varying degrees of
Uh-huh.
what you can do and what you're
Mhm.
looking for. Like,
Yeah.
your home is too physically challenging. You can't mow your lawn anymore, then needing more accessible, and then needing to
Uh-huh.
move to a senior living facility. I
Yeah.
guess that's
How
that's
how
kind of
about,
progression, but it's
yes,
all 3 sides of the same coin.
I see. Well, it is, but it isn't. Well, I think maintaining your current your home is too physically challenging, and needing a more accessible home is, um, those to me are similar. Needing a more accessible home and, moving into a nursing facility or senior living community is, to me, that's different from needing a more accessible home, because, you know, someone could be 29 years old and, um, if you ask them whether they want to move to a nursing facility or, whatever for seniors, etc., they're not gonna like that. I can guarantee you.
Understood.
So
And
maybe we can get rid of maintaining your home. Well, maybe we could, I mean, it's double barreled, but could we say maintaining your current home is too physically challenging, or you need a more accessible home? Could we combine those two?
I would say that with my reading of
Uh-huh.
maintaining your current home,
Mm-hmm.
that's different than being able to move around in your current home.
Oh, good point.
Meaning
Yep,
that
you're right.
maintaining it is in like I have a I have a 3-story house,
Right, right.
but I'm mobility challenged, so floors 2 and 3
Yep,
are just being completely neglected. I can't
right,
fix anything in them because I can't get up
right,
there. That kind
right.
of thing.
Yeah, that makes
Versus
sense.
I can't get around the house because it's too cramped or it's not laid out properly.
Right. I would be okay with taking out wanting to move to an area with better healthcare facilities. Um, with that, how do people feel about that? Oh, Elizabeth, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
I was wondering about maybe we could change looking to move to an independent living facility for older adults, nursing facility, retirement home, or other. I don't know that we need to know the level of detail within that answer. It's not going to really provide us, I don't think, much
Yeah.
more insight. So I was wondering if we just said looking to move to a senior living community or facility.
I th-
Would that
what do
cover
people
it? I
think?
mean, that way we know it's kind of like a senior issue, but without having to
Yeah.
break down the kinds of places they might be looking to move.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's,
Okay.
um,
Does that,
and
how does
I
that
don't,
sound to people? Anybody object to that change? Okay, then hearing none.
Do you want to leave in the change of, because at the end of it, someone had added or needing a more accessible home, so it would end up reading looking to move to a senior living community or facility or needing a more accessible home?
As I
Or do you want to
mentioned,
just leave the senior facility and omit the last part?
I would just leave it as a senior living community or facility, because as you know, if you ask a 20-something whether they want to move to a senior living community or facility, believe me, it won't go over well. um, um, so it won't feel age appropriate to them. So I think having, needing a more accessible home, you can need that at any age, right? You can have a kid with a disability, right? And be in a 2-story or 3-story house. So I think it's really a different population. Potentially, well, older people might also need accessibility, and they often do try to get that. But I think these 8 questions need to be age appropriate. Does that make sense to people?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, all right. So I'm just going to delete this. Okay.
So I think we said delete the NA, or actually, I don't know if we got that far yet.
Let's see. Well, you can do. I think it's not bad to have an NA, or do people feel strongly? I mean, I don't really feel that strongly about it. We can do other, and they can say NA, or just don't have to answer the question if they don't want to.
And
If
I
we do
was
other,
also gonna
Mhm.
omit the healthcare facilities.
Yes, I agree with that. Anyone disagree? Okay. Okay. All right. So, I know this is getting long and tedious, and I apologize, but we do have to get it done. So, and we're almost there. So, um, do we want to keep the NA or get rid of the NA? Or keep the, or just maybe keep the NA or get rid of the NA and have the other?
The other will also have a text box next to it.
Okay. Do people want to keep the other? In this case, with a text box where people can write their response?
I think that would be a good idea, getting rid of not necessarily having to keep in the NA, but adding the text box for other.
Okay, great. So let's take out the NA. We'll keep the other. That does make it quite a bit shorter. Thank you, James. So, okay. So, all right. And did we agree to take this one out? If you do not currently live in Holden?
I have it deleted, so I assumed that was
Okay.
gone.
Anyone object to deleting it? Okay. All right. Great. All right. What are Holden's most urgent needs? Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. So when we put it, okay. So then we have regarding the development of new multifamily housing. Then we go into how aware are you of the requirements of the law and potential penalties? um, let's see. Then we get into the losing grants, maybe having them come in and zone the town for us. We're taking out the very first site. Let's see. I'm going to hide your comments here, Ron, just for. I'm going to try. I guess it's not going to. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, anyway. All right, I'm going to delete this first. Wait, not this one. Okay, so. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm deleting the right parcel. That's not the right parcel. Okay, so I took that one out already. Okay, good. All right, so parcel, and a couple more questions. So, okay. Okay. All right, so it's a little tricky because we don't really know what the number of pages are gonna be ultimately, but we took out, I'd say at least half the questions, um, and consolidated some. So this page will be about public meetings, you know, okay. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whoops. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 is the parcel, and 10 is a parcel. So we have about 12 questions, I would estimate. Does that seem reasonable to people? Does it seem unreasonable to people?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay, all right,
It's good.
all right. Thank you, James. I think that was Victor. Um, Elizabeth, I'm hoping you're okay with it. Ken,
Yep.
Will, okay, good. All right, good. Okay, good. We have a survey. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this on my hard drive. And stop sharing. All right. Thank you, Will. Okay, thank you,
Linda,
James.
I've been taking, I was taking notes in a track changes doc as well. So if you
Great.
could send me
Yep.
what you have done, I'll go through and consolidate the two versions.
Okay, that
For
sounds
some
good.
reason online, the accept all changes option doesn't exist, and I don't know why. It's very annoying, but that's fine.
I know. Yeah.
It exists, it just won't do it. Okay, so let's see. Yes. All right, so
Next.
my quick estimate, having done a quick like accept changes, is that it gets me to around 8 pages.
Oh,
And
really?
when we
But
format it, it would be probably a little bit less.
yes, it will be less because, we're using like 12-point font and that sort of thing, and it's not
Yeah,
gonna work that
this
way
is the
on that.
manuscript version.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could definitely you could widen those margins.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and a
Yeah,
lot of
I got it down to
the
5 pages, including the maps, and I think I might have had 1 or 2 extra
Okay,
questions
good.
in there on my version.
I'm looking at I'm looking back at the introductory language, and I'm wondering if we can make that a little simpler too. It says the town of Holden's partnering with the Central Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission to meet the compliance requirements under the MBTA. MBTA lists the section, etc., also known as the MBTA Community Zoning Law. I'm just wondering if we can maybe the take out the formal citation, or maybe just put it in parentheses or something. Um, and stop talking about 177 towns and cities and, um, yeah, I don't know. I can leave it as is, or, um, I can propose, after this meeting, send, I can send something to Ron, or you can just delegate me to simplify it a little bit, make it a little bit more, consumer friendly. What would people like to do? Elizabeth, go ahead.
Well, now that you bring that up, I was actually bringing the attention to that introductory part more because of what we're calling it. That Housing and Holden Community Survey. Thank you for taking this survey on housing opportunities for Holden.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's exactly what we're doing.
Oh, good point. Oh, good point.
And
Yep.
in fact, the description below, it does explain exactly what we're doing. And I kind of support that language. People can glaze over it if they want, but at least it's there. But I
Okay.
do wonder if we want to change the first couple lines to be slightly different. I'm not sure I have a suggestion for
Okay.
language. Maybe Ron, if you have an opinion.
I mean, I'd be happy with just removing the thank you for taking the survey and housing opportunities for Holden, just
Yeah, and leaving the other.
it doesn't really add anything to it. And maybe the title could be a little bit more upfront. You know, Holden community survey on MBTA communities, multifamily zoning proposal. We could word it something differently so it's a little bit more.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, we can always put a thank you for
Blunt.
taking this survey at the end. Right? Yeah, and call it something different like MBTA Communities Act. Wait. Plan for, how about, let me try something. Plan for, okay. Plan for MBTA Communities Act survey. Okay. Thank you for taking this survey on housing opportunities for Holden. Please complete this survey prior to the deadline of January, whatever. 9th, I don't know, we might need to give them a little more time. Town of Holden, is it, is it partnering, working with, oh, no, instead of housing opportunities, okay, the survey on, Holden's proposed plan to comply with the MBTA Communities Act. Okay. Okay. All right. Town of Holden working with, okay. Let's see. To meet the, okay, to comply with the MBTA communities zoning law. I'll just put, I'm just gonna do MGL. I'm gonna write it, okay, in shorthand, MGL. Chapter 40A. Section 3A. Okay, all right, and then we don't need, okay. Okay. Darn it. The zoning district reasonable size permits multifamily housing as of right. Oh boy. I don't know. Do we want to put do we want to put the gross density and all that stuff in here? In certain locations, in specific locations. As identified by the town. Do we want to say anything about this? This survey was, this plan was created by a committee of citizens or residents and town officials. Do we want to say anything about that? I know everyone's getting tired.
I-
I'm getting tired.
I
Go
guess
ahead.
I'd have to ask Ron what is the most favorable language we could use.
Regarding who.
Just the initial write up in general. Like, I guess, are we overthinking it? Is less more in some cases, or
I mean, I think I think the changes that Linda initially proposed, simplifying it to say that we're helping the town of Holden to to comply with the MBTA community zoning law. We can make it as minimal as possible, as minimalistic as you want. Really all this is just to set the stage for the kind of information we're trying to get from people so that they understand what the questions are for. so people will be more inclined to take it, because the only thing you don't want people to look at it and be like, well, why, what are they trying to get from me? What kind of information? Or, you don't want to make it so that people don't understand what it is you're asking of them. So I think, as minimal as you can make it, that's fine.
Okay, one thing I think we have, okay, so, I mean, we don't have to put anything in there about the group, the work group. I don't mind, either way, whatever people want to do. Since I don't hear people saying, yeah, let's put it in there, I guess that means people don't feel strongly that it should be. So, one thing I think we need to do here is any demographic information collected will be used for analysis purposes only. I think we need to be more explicit. Okay. Okay, we will. Okay, all responses will remain anonymous. No one.
I have to drop. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
I actually have a hard stop at 8 o'clock as well.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, no one will know that you filled out this survey. Okay, out this survey, or what you, yeah, no one will know that you filled out this survey.
Too threatening.
What?
Yeah, that language
Threatening.
sounds kind of
That's scary.
odd.
Oh, it does. Okay, all right. So, okay. Okay, thank you. All responses will remain anonymous. Is that good enough?
Yeah,
Yeah, so, and the only function of the demographic information collected will be used for analysis purposes only, or you could say internal purposes only. The only function of that is just so people are comfortable with the idea that if you give, if you answer the question about what your age range is, all it is contextual information for us, for the people the people who are collecting the survey. It's not going to be used for anything.
Okay, will be used for internal, I think internal purposes. Although, are they going to wonder what we mean by internal purposes?
I mean, you could say it could be used for contextual purposes only,
Okay.
and that's
Um,
possible. I don't know if that's too vague, but
Yeah, it might be. Okay, will be used to better, how about to better understand the perspectives of different, boy, of different individuals. Nah, different. Okay. All we have is the age demographic.
we only have age and whether or not you live in Holden, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So it may be any demographic information will be used to better understand the makeup of the respondent pool or something.
Oh, okay.
along
of the
those
respondents,
lines.
yeah, that would.
Oh, the respondent. Oh, the respondents. Right. Okay. Makeup of the respondent pool.
All right, I apologize, Linda, but I do have to
You
get
gotta
off.
go. All right.
If you can send me whatever additional, whatever you write in there, I'll compare
Yeah.
it to my notes, and then I will send that back to you as soon as possible.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So, okay. So let's see. All right. So all responses remain anonymous. Any understand the makeup of the respondent pool. Okay. All right. So, okay. Okay. We're not asking for any names either, right?
I'm also being summoned.
Okay,
I
all right.
need to go help out with the
Okay.
kids.
I'll reach out
I'm
to
sorry, I
everybody.
gotta drop off.
That's okay. No worries. Thank you, James.
All right,
Okay.
thanks. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, who do we have left? We have Ken. We have Elizabeth. We have Victor. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we only have 4, so we lost quorum. So, okay. All right. Well, thank you to those who stuck in here and really everybody, because everyone did great work tonight. So, all right. All right.
Yeah. Should I make a motion to adjourn?
I think you
Or
should.
do we
although I
not do that when you don't have a quorum?
No, can't even do that when you don't have a quorum. So
Okay.
I think we're good. All right. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate everyone's hard work.